Hello YouTube, Infinite Magicraid community, Gandalf here. Just giving you guys all a quick heads up. I am out traveling for work next week, Monday through Wednesday, so I won't be able to cover the new hero that's coming out next week. And apologize if you haven't heard much from me recently because work is getting a little bit out of hand, but I will do my best on top of my real life obligations to do these videos for you. First off the bat, a quick PSA for all of you who have not claimed this reward. There's a brand new code, Spring 2025, and this is the reward you will be getting. We'll spend some time going over the dev feedback notes for those of you who don't spend enough time on Discord to look at what the devs share with us. I'm going to go over some of those key updates, and then we'll take a look at the events this week as well as the brand new Spirit Beast that's been added to the game. Off the bat, for all the new players coming into the game, that has a beginner wish here. So beginner wish, I think, is like $99, and it goes up to, it's a bundle deal where you can get a choice of quite a few different heroes. What's really nice is you're getting quite a few different heroes added to it. What's very notable is all the limited hero go all the way up to Obsora now. In the upscale pool, which you will also get along the way. Some of the key notable heroes in there is, you will have all the newer heroes up to Elise. So Elise will be in there, Lance will be in there, Decora, Mavla, some of the newer heroes in there. And in the advanced pool, you can get heroes like Des and Bethany, Adeline, and Frank. So that will be a really nice addition to starting players who go for that pack. Now note, if you already bought the pack and you haven't claimed the reward, because you can actually let it sit there, please make sure you claim it before the 22nd, because then those will actually be lost if you don't claim it. So please make sure, if you purchased it but you haven't claimed it, please do claim it before the 22nd. Now, 7 Sages of Lily. Okay, so 7 Sages of Lily, thank you. We've been doing this content for far too long. Every day it is, you start it and you can't skip it, and it basically takes time. They're going to finally allow us to have the skip button, which for most of the days, with the exception of, where we want to use Damu and Indra for the internal injury boss, like skipping the fight will probably save a lot of time for everybody, which is great. And they took our feedback in for the excellent wishes. So normally it's a 15% rate up. Because the pools are so big now, 15% doesn't cut it. They're going to increase it to 20%, which is really great. Over here, when we look at our inventory, we have a lot of these dragon scales, right? We have these normal dragon scales that a lot of the time that you might not find them useful. And you have the ability now to convert 10 of these into a superior dragon scale. So again, the 10-to-1 conversion is implemented, and that will be really good to have that coming up in the near future. Dwarven Ruins and the Tower of Mark and Faction Abyss, there are going to be new levels. So look forward to even more levels. When stage 40 came out, it took forever to beat. Well, I wonder how many more new stages they're going to add, and hopefully, with better drop rates, things are going to be a little bit better. Nowadays, I just throw away anything that's elite, and I only keep 6-star, epic and legendary. At some point, we probably want to do 6-star legendaries only, because that's the only way we can roll for better gear. But the reality is, I feel like it's more useful if they can just give us more space. Like, I am literally at a point where I only keep legendaries and epics with the right substats, and I'm still finding myself like tapping out. And here again, I need to sell again, and if I filter for, it's just really annoying. I do recognize the limit as a server space storage issue. I do hope they find some way to resolve that, because it is getting to a point where it's very annoying with the storage of gear. And finally, we're gonna get Mythic Hero adjustments, and Lucifer is the next hero coming up. Honestly, we have not seen Lucifer do anything useful or meaningful ever since maybe the first 6 months of the game, where Lucifer was actually really good, where he was able to one shot an enemy and then kill another one right away. Lucifer, he looks completely badass. and it'll be really good to see him back into the game and making him relevant again. I hope his buff will be a lot better than Brynhild's, because unfortunately Brynhild didn't bring enough, wow to the character. So I very look forward to that adjustment coming up. This week, again, you have consumer events. We're not going to talk about that too much. And I think let's just go into Spirit Beast now. You're familiar with how this works. Basically, if you, I believe, buy all of this every single day and then get this one, should be suffice, I think. Worst case scenario, you need to get the $1 one, and you will be able to get a copy of the brand new Spirit Beast. Now, of course, you have the option of choosing any of the other ones. Just make sure you go for the consistent one, because you do need to get it to 100. And remember, this event does not carry over. You can't do 5 and then do another 5 the following event. It's just within that single event. So whatever you do, if you plan to go for another 100, make sure you finish it. Otherwise, all your progress will be lost when the event is over. Now, this brand new Griffin is quite strong. I've tried it out a little bit, and as expected, they will make sure these things are strong. Otherwise, they won't be able to sell it. But if we look at his kit, for the most part, it focuses on reducing the enemy's max HP. It is one of the key ability. The second part is does a ton of direct damage himself. All right, and it ignores damage immunity. Then over here, we then have the ability to make sure that all of your allies cannot be reduced lower than 1 for 1 turn. However, this only works when allies enemies are not higher, when any of the enemies not higher than 0, then grant all of the allies. So that means you have to have 1 dead ally first to have this condition. So it's a little bit hard to trigger this condition, but basically this will allow you to have the ability to basically not die, but also make sure one of the enemy can, the next time when they cast the proactive skill, it becomes effective. So it basically makes them lose a turn, but also waste a turn and put it into cooldown. And you can only use this once every 3 turns, basically. But the most important thing here is actually increasing self-attack and ally heroes dot attack, but also, do damage to the enemy in a way that it ignores damage immunity. So this actually looks like it's a really good synergy for our control team. So, the Giselle team, for example, in Advanced Arena here that I run. So, for example, in the second team, this is a team with all control, but in here, it doesn't actually have a lot of direct damage. So, for example, here, if I put Penny back in instead of Lydia, the Mythic Beast is actually going to increase the dot damage done by everybody by 60%, and he himself is going to actually provide a lot of direct damage. And because he has high crit rate, you can actually use the Spirit Beast damage to go through Marie's mechanics. So we'll give that a test and see how well that actually plays out on the video as we go into the trial quest here. So first, maybe against I normally actually lose to this guy, and we're gonna do it with this new Spirit Beast and see what happens. And the end, I think what we want to pay attention to most of all is actually how much did the Spirit Beast actually do damage for in this particular battle. So again, I wish there's a quick way to figure out what the unique equipment actually does for this. Okay, we're going to slow down, just down, and then we're going to watch the amount of damage that the Spirit Beast do here. And on that first hit, it didn't feel like it was a lot. But what it is doing, however, on the enemy is the enemy is having their max HP getting reduced by it. All right. And right now, yes, the dot damage is increased as a result for everybody by 60%. So the dot damage goes up a ton as a result. So I'm able to then break through on the damage. Let's try again against someone of an equal caliber, but this time around, we're going to use a more perhaps dot damage based team and see how that actually plays out using this new pet. And you can see, you know, with Giselle is also control type. Here we have no direct damage on the team. And let's see if, you know, having this new Spear Beast gives us, you know, a way to free up Marine some of these comps and actually do really well. Now, one of the things you do notice here is the damage mitigation capability definitely is reduced. I actually feel that's really weird because I could have swore the owner's HP would not be lower than 1%. And this is the part that gets really strange because this skill, Divine Griffin, this is the part where the wording description, the owner HP will not be lower than 1 point. But when any ally's HP is not higher than 0. But I think we just got Sacred Adherence here, right? That part makes no sense. Like, how did this even happen? Like, all my allies are actually, at least all of them are, you know, greater than 0. I thought this would have been happening. Oh, we got Griffin Divinity Stone here also included. Okay. Let's see. When ally tries to inflict control effects, this increases the turn meter by 8% and can trigger 4 times. Increased direct damage by 60% can be increased. And increase the crit damage. Okay, so this is really cool. So we're going to bring in all control team after this one. After this fight, we're going to pay extra attention to... yeah, we didn't win this fight, though. But for that entire 1 turn, right? It basically cannot be killed for this 1 turn. And we still won. We made an insane comeback on this fight. Let's look at the damage. Look how much damage this Griffin actually did to the enemy. It's a bit absurd. If we look at the damage proportion, yes, because they have a Marine in there, so all the direct damage from the Griffin actually was doing the heavy lifting there. But that last part of the fight, like, that was pretty insane. It's almost like the damage was delayed or something. I mean, this is just replay, but let's pay attention to what happened here and trying to understand it a little bit. So when we're about to have the first cast, and you will see, right, after the cast, everybody got the blue buff on top of them, no? Now they okay, so there we go. The skill happened. Everybody now get the buff, right? The blue one. There's a blue buff on everyone, right? Where is it? It just casted, no? So see, that was weird. Like okay, affected by Spirit Beast, the attack is now increased. But how did I survive that? Like, 1 turn left. The HP will not be lower than for 1 turn. It's almost like after you cast it, if someone falls to 1 HP, they're protected for 1 turn. I think that's what it really means. Right? Because that's kind of what happened here is, if we look at that skill, is we actually survive the damage. And also there's a pursue attack. Deals damage if additional cast it and pursue attack. Okay. Meanwhile, for every increased self attack and dot. Okay. When is not higher than 0, granted. Let's see on the enemy which one of them will have a skill that the next time they use it Yeah, so there's Giselle. Has a chance of not being effective. The one that has done most damage, right? So Giselle has done the most damage. And there's 3 stacks now on their max HP being reduced. So everyone's still able to survive without 1 HP. But look what happens here, right? Like all of a sudden, we are pretty much down to just the last 2. But now we have that big hit. And that was enough to trigger it actually twice. That triggered twice. That triggered twice. This pet Spirit Beast skill triggered twice there. That's what made the kill. Which is quite insane. And if we actually run a full control team, we can really charge it up and make it go much faster. So let's go up against I Am Wolf here. Okay, I can't use that, but let's put in a all control team here and see what we do. How does that work? And let's just run something like this. So we're on 5 control. We have Giselle and Marie. We don't have as much damage mitigation. We're going to hit them with CCs. Hit them with more CCs. Okay, our pal's able to go. And he does a double cast. Okay, so the first time it goes to 0, I think it triggers. It's almost like the first time when ally goes to 0 HP, like 1 HP, everyone kind of get the buff. Now he goes twice on the direct damage there. Giselle's still at 1 HP. And then all of a sudden, she got massive amount of shield and gets a double cast. Giselle stuns everyone. Now, I would expect Giselle. See, everyone's not dying. They're not dying because of the. Because this is. But because you're doing a double cast, it actually comes back much sooner. You see how everyone's not dying? That's broken. Like you. And this is not. This is like a power creep on top of the Phoenix, I think. Right? It can't be reduced to 1 for the entire turn. Let's go read the Phoenix as soon as we're done. Yeah, we lost this one, but that's okay. But look how much extra surviving I'm doing there. Let's go take a look. I feel like that mechanic is more broken than this one. Because this one says you have to cast it. Then they get Phoenix Flame, right? When they take fatal damage, you'll be active. Within 1 turn, it can't be reduced below 1 point. And turn meter can be reduced. But if they don't get a kill, they will die. But here, for that entire turn, there isn't that part where if you don't get a kill, you don't die, right? Like you just there's no condition. You can't be reduced below 1. Wow. So we definitely could see this new Divine Griffin replacing Fiery Phoenix in the role for that particular piece. I think Fiery Phoenix will still be good PvE wise because you get the speed up for your HP burn team. So hopefully this helps you understand a little bit of his kit. He's really meant to be running a heavy control team. He does a lot of direct damage. This direct damage can crit, and it will hit through Marie, which is really nice because it's crit direct damage. Again, there you go, asking us to bust out the wallet. I hope you found this video helpful. I'll catch you in the next one. Gandalf out.